So, a lot of YouTubers are jumping on the bandwagon of making tier list videos, and while yes, I am a little late to the party, I just see it as a really fun way of sharing opinions. So I couldn't help but make one for the Warrior Cats protagonists. If you aren't familiar with the trend, the tiers are basically ranks. S is highest, A is second highest, and then it goes down the alphabet to F being the lowest. The higher rank, the more I like the cat. Generally, C or higher is what I consider to be good. Anyways, in this video, I'll be ranking all the main series protagonists that have been a protagonist for more than one book. So, these 15 cats. Let's start off with the original boy, Firestar. A lot of people believe the original 6 Warrior books are among the best, and part of that is just because Firestar really worked as a protagonist. He's the underdog boy who works hard to fulfill a greater destiny. A generic concept for sure, but one that's proven to be successful. I honestly can't complain. Firestar is exactly what the Warriors books needed to start things off. He got things done. That's a solid A rank for me. Now, let's move on to the new Prophecy protagonists. Bramble Claw was not my favorite. He really got more than he deserved. He became deputy, received Squirrel Fight's love, saved the day, all while being quite arrogant. And he isn't very unique. When they traded him out with Stormfur for a book, I honestly couldn't find much of a difference. And the way he treated Squirrel Fight was just really not fun to read about. I'm sorry, Bramble Claw fans. I'm putting him all the way down to E. Now Leafpool, our first female protagonist. Her chapters weren't the most interesting, but I still fell in love with her because she was such a sweet cat. The bond she formed with Sorreltail and Mothwing and her sister all are just super cute. And the drama towards the end of Twilight is one of the most interesting character conflicts in the entire series. She gets a strong B. Now, Squirrel Fight. She's also super sweet. Her sassy and energetic personality was really needed for the new Prophecy books. When things got boring, we at least had Squirrel Fight to add a little fun. However, with only 2 books, she wasn't the most fleshed out character, so we'll leave her with the simple C rank. She's good. Moving on to Power of 3, I can finally talk about my Jayfeather. I know that not everyone agrees with this, but I just think Jayfeather is very strong as a protagonist. He has a unique story with his blindness and sensitive emotions. He has so many more layers than characters in Warrior Cats usually offer. Also, his powers are super interesting and they help us see the Warrior Cats world in a whole new way. His blindness put distance between him and other cats, so seeing him use his powers to find proper connections and eventually become a better cat, it just makes me root for Jayfeather the whole way. Especially when he starts to make connections without his powers. Jayfeather was really fresh for the series, and him being on the more pessimistic and cynical side really makes him more believable in some ways. If any cat deserves the S rank, it's him. Lionblaze. He's, less interesting than Jayfeather. I'm not really a fan. He has the super epic power of not being able to be defeated in battle, and then the power is just hardly used. Everything interesting going on with him, such as his relationship with Heathertail or his training with Tigerstar, just gets completely cut off before anything super dramatic happens. Lionblaze gets an E. Hollyleaf. Oh, Hollyleaf. I'm only judging her for her role in Power of 3, which was, awful. After switching over to warrior training, she really doesn't do anything other than act in support to Lionblaze and Jayfeather. There are a few random character moments, but nothing interesting until it is revealed that she killed Ashfur, which just happens way too late. I have to use the F tier for some cat, so there you go, Hollyleaf. Now Devwing, that's a cat full of sunshine. At least until she finds out she has powers and the clans are in danger of being completely destroyed. Was it necessary to add a child character beside Jayfeather and Lionblaze? No. But was she far more interesting than Lionblaze or Holyleaf? Yes. Now, I've absolutely fallen in love with the current Shadow Clan Devwing, but I'm only judging her role in Omen of the Stars here. And overall, she's good. We'll put her at the C rank. Ivypool is really interesting with her role in the Dark Forest, and while she can be really whiny over Devwing, that's part of her growth as a character. And I like seeing her slowly decide to use her position for good. I'll give her a C as well. Omen of the Stars wasn't amazing, but Ivypool and Devwing were overall an enjoyable pair of sisters. Now Greywing! I love this dude. He wasn't special, he didn't even want to go to the new territories, but life just happened, and he made what he could of it. I love Dawn of the Clans. There's something really amazing about what was essentially a reboot of Warrior Cats. We had the rise of a bunch of fresh and interesting leader characters. Greywing was particularly interesting because he really had to navigate his emotions to figure out what was right and wrong and what was most important in life, which of course he decided was family. And it's really nice having a protagonist start as an adult for a change. Greywing is an A. And his brother ClearSky is also pretty great. He's my favorite villain in Warrior Cats, as his motivations are set up really well. A lot of his actions are in the gray area, in which they are bad, but he's sort of trying to do the right thing. He acts as a good comparison to Greywing, as he has a lot of the same thoughts, but he comes to different conclusions. And then there's the Blazing Star. I love that book. ClearSky just had to deal with the fact that he did bad things. Warrior Cats really lacks villains with redemption arcs, so ClearSky's story was really nice. An interesting cat, deserving of an A. And then there's Thunder. He unfortunately just got completely overshadowed by Greywing and ClearSky. He should be super interesting, being ThunderClan's first leader and all, but he was just so generic, and I think he deserves a D. Moving on to A Vision of Shadows. Olderhurt just really didn't land for me. I really didn't feel like he had much to overcome, and he just spent a lot of time walking around fussing over the prophecy. He himself never really had any heroic moments. His story was very bland. All the drama was shifted over to Violet Shine and Twig Branch, and what we got with Alderheart is what I would rank as an E. Now Twig Branch is a whole lot better. She's just so positive and sweet, and she carries so much hope in finding her parents. I really like her story of finding her place. Also, it's a breath of fresh air having a modern protagonist that's not related to Firestar. She's a C. And Violet Shine, she's pretty great too. She rides a little more on the dark side of things with her role in Darktale's group, giving her a more emotional story overall. My personal opinion is that Violet Shine was more interesting in books 2 and 3, and Twig Branch was more interesting afterwards. So they're about even overall. I'll also give Violet Shine a C. Yeah, that's a lot of C's. Okay, you know what? It's time for a bonus round. Let's talk about the 3 new Broken Code protagonists. They don't technically have 2 books yet, but they will soon. Rootpaw, I really like. I find his social awkwardness to be really cute, and I can sort of relate to getting embarrassed over stupid things. I'm really looking forward to seeing where his story goes next. Shadowpaw, again, a solid protagonist. Having a young cat with a bunch of voices inside and outside his head trying to tell him what to think? Absolutely genius. I seriously love the Broken Code. And of course there is Bristle Frost. Right now she's my least favorite of the 3, but still, she has a very strong story. Seeing her have crazy fantasies surrounding her hunting assessment in STEM Leaf before ultimately facing reality, it's just great character growth. I'm not giving these cats ranks because there's still so much more to see with their development, but I can totally expect that they will land among the A's and B's, maybe even S. These are really good characters. So yeah, that about wraps up the video. Just a reminder that these are all my opinions, and if you disagree, feel free to yell at me in the comments. Bye!